Hey guys, so getting ready to install the triangulated 4-link on the VW Bug. I basically got the Bug sitting on where the ride height should be. And right now I'm just trying to figure out a position of where I want the wheelbase of this Bug to see. It's kind of hard for me to back up to get the whole thing in there, but I'm playing around with where I want it to be. It's probably pretty close there. It might move up a little bit, but I kind of like the overall stance there. And then, it's under the jack stands. I don't got any bags on it right now. But that's about where it's going to be. I still got clearance on the oil pan, and I still haven't even installed a low-rise oil pan on it. You can see I got a couple inches, but that's even going to disappear. The pan I'm going to use is going to be 2-3 inches shallower. It should almost hide underneath that frame rail, because the car will definitely go lower when it's bagged. I will, should be able to put it right on the ground. Kind of doesn't look right when you take a look at it this way. Axle just looks like it's way too far back, and I don't like the look of it, but when I step back from different angles I kind of do. Here's a triangulated 4-link that I picked off from Ron Pope Motorsports. I think it was like 220. Good quality heim joints, left and rights, all the brackets. And what's kind of cool is this guy, he sends you double the amount of brackets. So you got twice as many, which in my case, the way I could mess it up, who knows. The pipe's already pre-cut, I think at about 24 inches. I'm gonna might have to change that, just depending on where that axle sits at. But you really can't beat it. Heims are pretty expensive. It's a decent quality Heim joint. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it, It's got the nut, and it's got everything to go right, inside the pipe. I think it's this one. One of them. So I'm hoping I get some wear with this. I still got to clean up the axle, and then also figuring out the driveline angles, where the Bug's going to kind of be sitting, lifted and raised. I mean, the pinion angle obviously is just sitting on that jack stand. This whole car is going to go back up all on jack stands, and then I'll get it all kind of mapped out. And then, the other problem is, even though I cut the frame jig, and it's no longer in it because the frame's strong enough that I can move it around. And also, I'm going to jack it up. I'm going to have to do some stuff. So a lot of measurements are coming up right now. I got to figure out the driveline angles. That's why I really need to know the ride height and where I kind of want this thing to sit. Then also, you start finding as you get deeper into this all my mistakes that I've done already. So what I need to do is, this was always put in here just temporarily. I knew that wasn't going to be there because obviously the driveline could be in the way. I'll have a driveline kind of hoop thing going on there. But I'm also going to have to fill this in straight. I'm going to have to put one over here and, make sure obviously the rear end is in the car straight. And then also, hopefully, I put the body on the frame right. You know what I mean? So there's a whole bunch of things that are going to start showing my flaws. But, it's the first car I built. It is what it is. There's going to be stuff coming up here. The main thing I want is that, it to be in straight. The tires might not be sitting perfectly on the outside. So what I plan on doing, so I'm going to do some plumb bobs first off of this body. Now this really isn't going to matter, this measurement, because if the body's on the frame wrong, the axle's got to go on straight. But I just kind of want to have an idea. So I'm going to find the exact same point over there, hang plumb bobs, and make sure that we've got the axle, see how straight it is in the car first. And then I'm going to take my first measurements of, getting the axle straight to this, and then kind of do the best of my alignment in the front with the caster and camber, getting this all, getting these adjusted the best I can. I mean, I'm going to bring it to a shop, a hot rod shop, and have them do it. I just don't want to bring it there and be a laugh where the whole thing's just, you know, going down the road crooked. So I don't even know if I'm going to get to even welding on the axle. I'm not in a rush. This is like the hardest to me, the hardest point right now is making sure this axle goes in there, it matches the front end, and everything lines up. And then once that happens, everything else is just minor issues compared to this. This is going to make the car, the drivability of the car, you know, good or bad. So many of these V8 guys, they have it where their bodies come on and off. And to me, it's like a plus. I wanted to do it, but this body was so rusted out. It wasn't clean. I had to actually, you know, I had to cut these out. They were just toast. I mean, it was a $250, $300 body that I paid for it, you know, so I wish I would have had a cleaner body, but then also when I was building this, I didn't want to start on my first car. You know, the next one I do, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable. I'll use DMO tubing on the roll cage, and I'll definitely make it where the body comes off. But this first one, it just isn't going to happen. My main concerns is just make it where it drives really decent. Probably going to order the airbag kit at the end of the month, and then we'll go from there. You know, summer's going to be coming on in Vegas pretty soon, so I just don't know how much I'm going to be working on this in the middle of summer. It could be sitting for a few months until we get through the heat, because this garage just gets baking. But anyways, I just wanted to come out with a little video, show where we're at. I'll tag back once this triangular kit starts getting put in. Well, I got it back up on the jack stands and getting ready to start putting this 4-link in. Once I figure out getting it all square and level. Got it all sitting level both ways. Well, I got the bottom links in. I'll finish the rest next week. There's a couple problems that came up. I'm going to make a video of that. Everything's starting to show its face now as I start tying everything in together. I'm seeing things that I should have done differently, but I'm going to work with what I got. Please subscribe if you like the content. Let me know what you think, good or bad, or your opinions. Appreciate it all. Thanks, guys.